Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome back to Mean Streets, where we've kind of almost run through most of the things that that we were planning to look at in regards to trying to figure out whether or not Carl Linsky had killed himself or whether it was murder. The closest that we've actually gotten to some sort of information as to whether he was not himself that night was the statement from Bash Daggett, who had seen him commit suicide. He saw him as a man possessed. Just walk off the bridge and then just step off. As if he wasn't actually himself that night. Although I feel as though there are certain things that I missed, and because the way this game is made back in the day, there are certain issues with pacing. Because I don't remember anybody asking Tex, or mentioning to Tex, anything about the MTC Corporation or Gideon Enterprises. But when I went to talk to David Pope, Tex was ready to ask him those questions, which makes me feel as though the game had expected me to do other things first, to discover other information first. That would have allowed me to know these things, so that when I got to that point, but I might have missed it, I might have passed it up. And it also has something to do with the whole adventure genre, because the adventure, there was a lot of pixel hunting involved. And I did a little browsing through the beginning of the walkthrough that I've kept on hand just in case, and I noticed there's a couple things that I've already missed, so I'm probably going to go back and see if I could catch those things that I missed out, but I also never bothered looking up some names from Vanessa.
Hello, Tex.
One of these names being Cal Davis, the dead scientist.
Look for my facts.
I should also look up the MTC Corporation.
Look for my facts.
I'm going to try John Klaus
There's
again.
nothing in our files.
And I'm going to try Sonny Fletcher again, but I know that's not going to lead to anything.
There's nothing in our files.
And then we'll also look up Gideon Enterprises.
Look for my facts.
Alright, so now I'm just going to kind of fly about until I get her facts. Or by fly about, I mean do absolutely nothing. Here we go. Here's a newspaper article I found in Santa Barbara paper on Cal Davis. Noted scientist Dr. Cal Davis is found dead at his Santa Barbara home. Hold on. Do I have a pen nearby? This is, I think, the only game I've played on here that I actually need to write things down. Saturday, Cal Davis, who coincidentally had been a professor at the University of California at Davis, died of an overdose of cyanide 631. According to the police detective Smiley Monroe, it's kind of hard to tell with the text font whether that was an M or an H, of the Santa Barbara Police Department. Okay, I'll put that under, let's see, Smiley Monroe. And that is 3614. Dr. Davis must have accidentally grabbed a flask of cyanide 631 instead of the Diet Coke sitting next to it. Although Diet Coke and cyanide have similar properties. Although Diet Coke and cyanide have similar properties, the main ingredient of cyanide is toxic and killed Mr. Davis within minutes, as opposed to Diet Coke, whose flavor is toxic and will kill a man in seconds. A close friend, Aaron Sternwood. I'm going to write down Aaron Sternwood. It's probably not important. Aaron Sternwood. If Vanessa can't find anything about him, I'm just going to cross him off. I can't believe it. He never drank poison before. He should try to be more careful. When I found him, he was gasping for breath. He mumbled some chess term, and then he was gone, said Sternwood. That seems suspicious. Gideon Corp is a large company involved with electronic surveillance equipment. Here is a newspaper article found about him. Gideon Enterprises, a local San Francisco corporation. All right. And they are located at nav code 4650. Has announced that they have received a $500 million government contract to develop 3 new surveillance satellites for the government. They have a government contract to work for the government. Okay. Gideon specializes in the development of high-tech computer and electronic surveillance equipment. The company was founded in 1997 by J. St. Gideon. Mr. Gideon is now retired and has turned the reins over to Mr. Frank Schimming, who is president and chairman of the board. Okay, so we'll add Frank Schimming and J. St. Gideon to the list. MTC Corp is the management training center and a subsidiary of a larger corporation called Gideon Enterprises. Okay, so that's probably, I think I found out about MTC Corp earlier. So I would have known from then about J. St. Gideon. Or about Gideon Enterprises, should I say. So nothing about MTC Corp specifically, as much as more stuff about Gideon Enterprises. That said, let's talk to Vanessa again.
Yes?
Let's look up Aaron Sternwood.
Okay.
Oh, there's something. Frank Schimming
Okay.
and J. St. Gideon.
Can't help you there.
What if I remove the dot?
Can't help you there.
Huh.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, I guess it's back to waiting for a fax. Alright, some incoming faxes. Action-packed fax action. To find Aaron. Talk to Smiley Monroe. Okay, so I need to go to him, find him. Frank Schimming is the president of Gideon Enterprises. His office is at Gideon Enterprises itself. And okay, so this is just Gideon Enterprises. So I'm not finding J. St. Gideon that easily. So in that case, I shall head over to Cal Davis's location and see if I could rummage through his home. Alright, so we are at the home of Cal Davis. Cal Davis' home near Santa Barbara must be over 100 years old. There is still police tape across the entryway. Somebody must have left the cooling system on, because the air is chilled and damp. I walk down a hallway and up a flight of stairs to a large open room. This is what I'm looking for. As I enter the room, the burglar alarm sounds, and I have about 10 minutes to shut it off before the police get here. It's a good thing I saved my game on the other side of town. And before I got all those faxes. Alright. Computer? When operate without password, light switch. Wall cabinet open. I don't think I'm prepared for this. You turn the switch on and it opens a cage. The ape rushes out and uses you like a rubber ball, throwing you to and fro about the room. The end. Okay, so I just died. Okay, let's head over to the police station first. And then I'll worry about going to Cal Davis's home. And maybe if I talk to Aaron Sternwood, that might also help. Alright, so this time I'm going to save before I go to location. I just have to remember... Nope, I don't even have to worry about remembering how to... I figured out how to make my speeder go up, but not down. This looks exactly like the other police station. The Santa Barbara police station is in a state of transition. They're getting ready to move to a new facility and the place is a disorganized mess. I step into Detective Monroe's office and he's sitting behind his desk. No need to wonder how he got the nickname Smiley. He's got a big, stupid grin on his face. And he looks like the Riddler if the Riddler decided he was going to go into car sales. What am I asking about? I've got a list of people's names, which sounds terrible without context. There we go. I know that he's going to be focused more on Aaron Sternwood and Cal Davis. But yeah, so let's talk to him about Cal Davis. My memory is a little hazy. Maybe a consulting fee would clear my head? Let's see, I have $10,000. How about 100? How about 200? 400 bucks. He probably wants 1,000. Thanks, buddy. I'll tell you what I know. The investigation verified that Cal Davis, I already have his location, accidentally killed himself with a hazardous chemical. It appears that instead of drinking his Coke, he took a mouthful of cyanide. The emergency call came in from an Aaron Sternwood, friend of the victim. Sternwood said he mumbled something about chest and then died. When I found him, his face had the distinct bluish tinge of cyanosis. There was no evidence of foul play. Ask him about Aaron Sternwood. Oh my gosh. I hate this guy so much. He hangs out literally at the beach near Santa Barbara. 0439. Prepare yourself. He's not a pretty sight. Site spelled out as a location rather than as a view. Okay. Out of curiosity, let's see if he knows Sonny Fletcher. Okay. Let's get out of here, try to find Aaron Sternwood. Okay, now to the beach, where we're expected to meet. It's not that much of a beach, kind of a rocky beach, unless that's giant piles of poo. This could be the world's first beach for ugly people. A skinny guy walks by with so many varicose veins, he could double as a road map. I spot Aaron Sternwood, the last person to see Cal Davis alive. He's fat, balding, and about 45. Actually, he doesn't look that bad in the picture. He just looks like an ordinary guy. Okay. Tell me about yourself. I'm pretty easygoing. I guess it's because I'm too heavy to run and too fat to fight. I think you're a pain, but ask your questions anyway. I already got that response from somebody else. Cal Davis. Cal Davis was a good friend of mine. We were going out that night, and I was supposed to meet him at his house. When I got there, I rang the bell, but no one answered. When I found him in his lab, he had his hands around his neck, and he mumbled, "Checkmate." I wonder if that's the password to his computer. The police think he accidentally poisoned himself, but I can't believe it. He was always very careful around his chemicals. I'm going to assume that is the password to his computer and immediately go there. Although I suppose that's kind of interesting in itself, because I wouldn't know his computer needed a password unless I had gone there and been killed by an ape. So, c'est la vie. Yeah, that said, I could be horribly wrong about my assumption, so I'm going to save my game nonetheless. Before I go in... I cannot seem to... actually use the computer, so I guess I don't have the password. Let's try the side drawer. I don't have the key. Okay, so there's something else that I'm missing. Or do I just have, or is this the nature of the puzzle? Is that I have 10 minutes to explore this area. Also, let's look at the memo. To Cal Davis, subject Nexus password code word EHCCETAMK. Will I have to remember that? I hope not. As I'm pretty sure that is the password to the computer. It is unfortunately not the password to the computer. I'll look at that note at the safety of cage made of iron bars. 2 eyes stare ominously at you from behind the bars. An oversized ape with wild eyes stares through the bars at you. Like, that ape probably hasn't eaten anything. And there's a small metal box inside the ape cage, which I know from playing Overseer is important. Standard file cabinet. It's locked and I don't have the key. Rat cages. Several rat cages filled with starved, dead rats. A Camel cigarette butt is in front of the cages. Camera. Small surveillance camera is out of reach. Broken. Yeah, that's probably the flask of cyanide. Leather straps. Okay. A drill is mounted on the concrete base. I don't have anything to drill yet. The book is titled Control of Primate Behavior Through Microchip Technology by Dr. Cal Davis. I'm going to steal his book. Alright. Table lamp. Ooh, a key. Oh, because the table lamp is on. Alright. That opened up, that's for filing cabinets. And that micro switch did not work, I believe. Alright, so let's saunter our way. Oh, and that's where Cal Davis died. There in the center of the room. Nope, I'm not far enough to the right. An invoice. You look through the papers and see an invoice dated 2 days before Cal Davis died. Precious metal ink, gallium arsenide bar, $2,000. Okay. I don't see how that necessarily helps me out, but let's make our way over here. So I can't open the drawer. Can I look at the fax machine? It's operational, but there are no faxes. A swivel chair. There is nothing on the swivel chair. Side-mounted light switch. Oh, that's all it does. Metal cabinet built into the wall. It is locked, and I don't have the key. Okay, I can't actually exit. I am trapped in here. And it's... up to me to figure this out. It's hard to tell whether I'm turning the... computer on or off. Okay, so nothing's going on there. I might end up just killing myself again. Just so I could at the very least get out of here, because I don't think I have a solution to this. Or at the very least, I'm not quite entirely sure what I should be looking for. Is the skeleton back here important? Camera. Nope. Broken glass. Nope. Rat cages. Nope. Let's move over here. Workbench. Did I try out this? Yes, I did. Chemicals, various chemicals in flasks with hazardous material. Do I need all of these chemicals? Huh. Is there a way for me to... access my inventory, actually? Use up and down, use left and right. You cannot move. Press B to go back. Oh, I could just press B to go back. That is useful. Yeah, it looks like I'm just going to kill myself and then head to Gideon Enterprises because I'm not entirely sure how to turn off the switch on the wall. Says open, close. Am I still looking at the same group? Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how to turn off the alarm. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to see what happens when the timer runs out first. Because that might actually change what I do. Because if nothing happens when the timer runs out, that's one thing. If the gorilla gets released when the timer runs out, well, then I just die and then I reload my last save. So 3, 2, 1, 0. You were caught by the police and thrown in jail. Okay, so now to talk to, I believe, Frank Shimming of Gideon Enterprises, because actual J. St. Gideon is retired. And unfortunately not played by Michael York in this version. I tell the security guard at Gideon Enterprises that I'm working on a murder case, and I'm here to talk to Frank Shimming. He leads me to the elevators and tells me to go to the 867th floor. The receptionist ushers me into a huge suite to talk to Mr. Shimming, the president of Gideon Enterprises. He is a slick-looking man, about 50, with gray hair and thick eyebrows. He doesn't look the least bit happy to see me. Tell me about Carl Linsky. Linsky, the old scientist who committed suicide. I understand he had done some work for MTC Corporation, which is our management training center. The personnel department could have told you that. Sylvia Linsky? John Richards. MTC Corporation. MTC is our management training center. New employees that show potential are sent there to acquire corporate decision-making abilities. I personally think it's a waste of time. A manager either has the skills or he doesn't. Okay. Cal Davis. I couldn't possibly know every employee who works at the companies I manage. Surely you have something better to do with your time than bother me with trivial questions. John Klaus. The name is not familiar. I really don't have time to get to know everyone who works for me. Maurice Gribble. David Pope. J. St. Gideon. I replaced Mr. Gideon as president a year ago. He was a senile old man in his 80s, filled with insane ideas. He had lost the drive to run the company in a profitable manner and had to go. Sonny Fletcher. Overlord. That name means nothing to me. Our company is involved in the development of electronic surveillance equipment. Obviously, a man of your line of work doesn't have any formal engineering education, so talking to you in specifics would be a complete waste of time. Alright. Law and Order Party. Everybody's heard of them. I'm no expert. If you're through with your stupid questions, get out of here. Alright. Okay, so in my attempt to go back over some of the sections that I missed, by the way, I'm going to link the walkthrough that I'm using in the description. I did not realize there's a safe right behind the painting, which, to be fair, is a little bit of a novice move on my part. Let us open the wall safe, because I already have the code for it, and there is $1,000 cash, which pays back what I gave to Smiley. Oh, hello. A concerned citizen. Get off this case or you'll be sorry. Oh, yay. Oh yeah, some faxes. I already have that fax, but I just typed it in as MTC instead of the MTC Corporation. The Law and Order Party is a quasi-fascist political organization dedicated to controlling the government. They've moved from their San Francisco office to somewhere in Southern California. No one seems to know where their main headquarters are now located. The head of the party is a man named Robert Knott. Robert Knott. He's rarely seen in public, but through strong political connections, he's built a very powerful organization. So let's see if Vanessa has anything about Robert Knott.
Hello, Tex.
Alright, Robert Knott.
Okay.
Alright, I guess I'll be waiting for a fax. Alright, Robert Knott is head of the Law and Order Party, but no one I've talked to knows how to find him. He's totally secretive. Alright, it looks like I missed a few things here, including this section. There are some crates. There's a key. There's some oil. Some 3-in-1 oil. There's a key to a safe, which there is a safe in this room. Stepladder. Oh. I wonder if that'll actually help me out in Cal Davis's area, because I couldn't actually reach the camera. The piece of masking tape says Blue Bishop. Okay. I really don't see a need for that. Okay. So now that I've gotten that, let's go down here. And I must have missed this ammunition. 100 rounds. And then let's head over to the safe, because now I've got the key for the safe. Insurance policy. A life insurance policy from the Transamerica Insurance Company and Carl Linsky. Face value is $1 million. Sylvia Linsky is the beneficiary. I already know this, though. So I guess it doesn't help me that much. But now I have a ladder, so I can open up the box, and inside there's a lamp? An antique lamp inside the box has a street value of $1,500. Okay. Alright, so let's back out of that. And let's see. Is there a computer? See, it looks like there's a computer on that desk. But now that I looked at that password, you got blue pass card. And blue password is Bishop. Alright. I'm frustrated with our attempts to find other scientists working on this project. So far, we have only put together a small list of possible colleagues, and SF is not convinced that all scientists are naive about Overlord. I have discovered that in order to stop the project, I will need to obtain all the pass cards and their passwords. So, hold on a sec. Looks like it's time for a separate list. So I have blue Bishop. And actually, yeah. So looking at that list of terms, I'd heard that they related to chess terms, but I hadn't actually done any looking at it. Like, there was that huge list of jargon, and that first word, ISBPHO, is an anagram for bishop. The second word is an anagram for queen. If I am decent enough, I'll just toss the list on the screen here so you know what I'm referring to. Though it's clear that I don't know enough Chester. There's king down there, rook, pawn, white, and black, and knight. If I could spell that correctly, castle. What is that? Stalemate? Huh. I don't know what the BGTAI is. That is clearly checkmate up top. And I'm going to have to look up some chess terms if I'm going to fill in the remaining two pieces. But what to do once I've obtained them is unclear. SF believes once a scientist is through with his particular phase of work and project, Overlord, he is eliminated. I completed my work on Overlord a week ago, but I'm still uneasy. I'm going to take my concerns to J. St. Gideon, the former president of Gideon and MTC Corporations. I have had severe headaches throughout the day. Something is wrong inside my head. I'm doing things that make no sense to me. I must try to... Thank you for watching. Questions, comments, recommendations for something to play next? Comment down below or send it on over to itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. That's itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. So long for now.